Okay.
Just trying to read what that says. Are we recording now?
Yes.
Are we going to do a sound check first, or are we just going to assume this is good?
I'm watching the little meters go up, so it's
All
picking
right.
us up
All right, well, Mike's with Mike's podcast.
with a whole bunch of people.
whole bunch of people. Let's go around the
Everybody
room and see who we
introduce yourself.
got. You know who Mike is. I'm Mike. Hi.
I'm Mike.
Hi.
I'm Matt.
Matt, tell us a little about yourself.
I live in Arizona, but I'm here to celebrate my youngest niece's birthday on Wednesday. Nora turned 13. Thanksgiving was on Thursday. My mom's 75th birthday was yesterday. I want to say shout out to my mom. She's great. She's done everything for me, and
Are they still living in the same house?
Cubs fan.
yeah, my mom
Okay.
lives right on 30. I just
Yeah.
came from there, and I owe her everything. She's great.
Can I go fishing back there sometime?
Yes.
Cool. Brian Morphus.
I'm Brian, and I'm just continuing the party from last night.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm Keith. I'm his brother-in-law. I'm just now meeting all these three gentlemen today.
He seems like a good guy.
I feel bad though that his mom drank the one beer he wanted,
Yeah, it's okay.
but it was her birthday.
Yeah, she deserves it. I mean,
Milestone.
she is. To raise a fine gentleman like this, she.
The jury's still out on that.
Jury's still out. Okay, gotcha. So what's up, guys?
How was
Some
everyone's
beers.
Thanksgiving?
It was Thanksgiving.
It was good. We hosted.
I
Got drunk. Not drunk, but I rolled my ankle the night before, so I limped around, kind of just put my leg up a lot and didn't do much.
Walk it off.
How about yours?
Great. I was at my sister's in the west suburbs of Chicago. This is the first time in 5 years that there were a dozen of us together, my sisters and their families, and it was great to see them.
Really?
I really value those times.
My sister came in from the west suburbs of Chicago.
Nice. Where'd you guys do Thanksgiving, Morpheus?
He played sick, and I went over and got drunk with him.
Nice.
Nice.
So we could avoid the actual family
In honor
Thanksgiving.
of the
Yeah.
pilgrims.
Brother-in-law givings. Nice. I like it. Yeah, T-Day's T-Day, man. The worst part is now all you're going to hear is Christmas music until probably the beginning of the year.
Us fucking yesterday, we're in the car and kept changing the station. And there's already like the 24-hour Christmas music station. I'm like, fuck this. I can't deal with it. I can't. And Christmas tunes are the worst fucking songs on the face of the earth.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear them at like on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then they can just go away for the rest of the time.
Don't even want to hear
Yeah,
about
what's a 5-week build up for? Come on. We know how to read a calendar.
it. Yeah,
Get the quarterly profit.
yeah, we know
Yeah.
what it is.
Lunar holiday. Good point.
It's like Black Friday. I heard that. Do you know what Black Friday?
No.
Why they call it Black Friday? Because it's in the
everybody-
fiscal year. It's something like a lot of businesses are finally just getting out of the red and into the black. All
Well-
that nice consumerism and
Well, at this point in time, it's going to look like Red Friday, man, because all of them are complaining right now. They're like, no, we didn't have enough shoppers. Well, yeah, because they're all beating each other up over one fucking TV in the store.
Yeah, I think they should change it because people get trampled. Did anyone get trampled to death this year? That's kind of black.
I hope so.
There was a big thing in England, I guess, where there was like, they said there was some kind of shooting, but there wasn't a shooting, and so a bunch of people went on a rampage, like trampled out, and they trampled some guy or something. I don't fucking know.
Fucking corporate bullshit.
I went drunk Black Friday shopping on Thursday.
Wow.
At Best
nice.
Buy. I love Best Buy, by the way.
They're actually a sponsor of the show. All right.
I worked.
Like they can
on
afford
Friday.
sponsorship.
Shameless advertisement.
I think Best Buy is honestly going to be one of the next places to go out of business, man.
No, that's H.H. Gray. Oh wait, they're already.
They're already out, yeah.
It's like, you can get anything on on Amazon. You
I
know?
miss Circuit City.
I did like Circuit
It's
I
better
City.
remember
than
Circuit
Forever.
City.
Yeah.
Do you want a protection plan with that? No.
No, because you're about to go out of business.
Oh, I paid $8 for it. You want $8 for the protection plan?
No, I know it's a piece of shit. I paid $8 for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's by two.
They're little.
So Morpheus, tell us a little bit about the job you've been doing for, pretty much since graduation, right? How long have you been doing that?
17 years. I used to
What's your official title that you like to call it?
union busting, job exporting.
Nice. Explain a little bit about what that is.
After the CEO decides that they want to make more money, they say fuck the people and then just fire them all, and then we go in there and take the jobs and give them to the Mexicans.
Nice. So you like relocate the factory down to Mexico, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then when you go to Mexico, the motherfuckers are bitching about losing their jobs to the Chinese, because pay a guy $20 an hour, then pay a guy $2 an hour, then fuck it, pay a guy $200 a month.
Yeah.
So you're an international efficiency expert.
Yeah.
That's his proper job title.
And now because of TPP, the freaking Chinese are bitching about losing their jobs with the Indonesians.
You know what TPP? You know me.
Is there anyone below that?
Not yet. They got-
Someone will underbid them.
Yeah, right.
It'll be like the Nigerians or the
Yeah.
Kenyans or some shit next.
Africa's wide open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's right for the picking,
It's an
right?
open market.
Yeah, hey, maybe Africa needs some goddamn money, man. Maybe we'll get some more wells or something.
Now I'm retired.
Yeah, nice.
I just sit at home and install light bulbs now.
Nice. Install light bulbs.
I'm an overpaid light bulb installer.
Nice. It's gotta be nice being home for a little while.
Yeah.
So Xander, how long you been out in Arizona, man?
11 years this past August.
fucking years.
It's too hot for my blood out there.
That's rough.
It's
It
fucking,
was 89 yesterday. It's not too bad for motorcycle.
Yeah, I would take that right now, but during the summertime, Jesus Christ.
On a motorcycle, it feels like you're in an oven or a hairdryer.
I bet.
Yeah.
Do you wear a helmet or no?
I admit that on the city streets, I do not. Whenever I go on the highway, I do.
You're like me, yeah.
I have everything within a mile of me, so I don't. My coworkers give me a hard time about that, but I
Fuck
should.
your coworkers. You do what you want. It's America.
America!
Fuck yeah.
So did you bring many brews from Arizona Wilderness?
Can you even bring those carry-on? I'm a minimalist.
I
so
brought three
Yeah.
back. I brought three
Yes.
back last
Yeah.
time.
But they have to
No,
like
not
put
carry on. I checked it.
they have to put them in a plastic baggie and then they put them in some little safe so you buy their alcohol on the airplane.
Safe? Is AZ Wilderness worthy of a safe?
I think so. Some of their beers are fucking
They're good.
fantabulous.
I watched a bunch of people. I was coming back from Mexico. They're like putting them all in these plastic bags and tagging them and putting them all in this cabinet because they all thought they were getting some deal at the duty-free shop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you ain't getting a fucking deal here, man. This is like the fucking capitalist rip-off center right here.
I love walking through them though, man. I want to buy every fucking thing in there, man. It's so well displayed.
Oh, it's yeah, it looks
I
great.
don't.
You're like, oh, look at all this booze, you know, but it's like that $50 bottle of Patron or whatever it is. Isn't I could go down to the liquor store and buy it for $35, you know? I mean,
You see assholes minding on the way into all inclusives, like, oh, I need my bottle of Jose Cuervo. They might not have that. Like, you fucking idiot.
They had some good deals in Tokyo.
Yeah?
That was for sure.
Where'd you get?
I really couldn't tell you. I don't know what this, can't read Japanese.
It was good.
It was good. Got back to China and just drank it all with them.
That's good. That's so you did a lot of hanging out in third world countries as well with the people as opposed to just staying in the hotel.
Oh, I love people.
Yeah?
I wouldn't want to drink the alcohol in China. It'd probably be laced with like methanol or
Oh
something.
no, they got a thing called white wine, but it's just moonshine.
Okay.
It's, yeah, it's pretty strong.
Fuck you up.
Yeah.
You didn't drink any snake blood or anything?
No, I had the snake. No, we drank the
That's a
snake.
chaser.
We drank the
Well,
snake
that's
wine.
Thailand.
You eat any lizard
snake in it?
penises or
Yeah, there was
whatever?
a snake in
Like
it.
fermented snake, huh?
Yep. It was a trip.
It's exotic.
What kind of crazy shit have you eaten over there?
Dolphin, scorpions, snakes, donkeys.
So,
What else?
Donkey looks good. I mean,
Live squid.
oh, he told me that story.
Yeah, I threw up all over the place. I got one stuck in the back of my throat, and they had to come in there and pull it out because I kept throwing up.
That's classic.
Oh man.
What do they pull it out with their hands?
Pretty much.
some Asian girl with tiny hands is like sticking her.
Can't find lane. Hurry.
Choking on live squid.
Stupid American.
Oh man. I don't think I would try that, but donkey, yeah.
Donkey's good.
I bet it is. Like
it
horse.
was like a traditional thing, man. We had a block party. Like our translator was throwing a block party with all his friends, and they just basically pulled it out and cut its throat kosher style and chopped it all up right there in front of everybody.
Wow.
Steaks or
Yeah, steaks, intestines, all that.
nothing to wait.
Roasting hams,
Nothing
man.
to waste.
Yeah.
Nothing like donkey chitlins.
You know,
Mind you, it wasn't the first time he's eaten ass.
You're right there.
hey, huh? Sometimes you gotta like
Nor
an
would
asshole,
it be
you
the
know?
last.
You ever seen that billboard where it's just a bunch of fucking animals and it's like pets and then like goes into what we eat? There's like a line, like where do you draw the line? I'm just looking at that thing like I would try every one of those animals out
Never
there.
had the
Hey, did you-
dog. Nobody, I asked, nobody, they looked at me like I was crazy.
I think they only did in like that one province or something.
Yeah, there's only
right?
like certain.
Yeah.
China's like really like culturally strange with its provinces and stuff like that. They all have their own little deal going on over there.
Yeah, we were in Wuhan.
I think it's more of a Korean thing, isn't it? Actually,
I
the
don't
dog
know.
thing is.
There's
Yeah.
some like Chinese festival.
But
That
they,
might
but they
be,
did have tigers for sale on the side of
Yulin
the
or something
road. It was
like that?
pretty cool.
Live?
Yeah, live tigers.
Live tigers.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. No permit required.
No.
Now we know where Roy Boy got his.
Yeah.
I think that tiger's been dead for
Rest in
years.
peace.
Yeah, I think it's been dead for a while.
It went with them.
Would you see there's a billboard on the way to Michigan City for some gas station that sells all the weird meats like that? On the
Oh
way to
yeah,
your
yeah,
house.
like ostrich and
Yeah,
everything.
yep.
Yeah.
There's a place in Gary on 25th and Colfax, man. They sell everything fucking strange like that.
They
too.
got jungle gyms out there in Ohio.
Yeah.
That's good.
I remember every time I'd go to work, I'd drive by that fucking. It looked like a gas station corner store thing, and they're like, "We'll process anything," and they'd be like, "Squirrel, 25 cents a pound; muskrat, 38 cents a pound." You know, I mean,
Eat
possum.
muskrat?
You know, they had fucking. They would. I think if you, because it's out there in Gary, you know, if you scraped it up off the road and fucking took it in there,
They'll butcher it.
they'll
huh?
butcher it and fucking sell it right there in the case.
Fuck it.
Well, I'll tell you a fast story. One time we went to Colorado. I went with my wife and her husband was in the military, and we went to some restaurant, and he got moose and I got Colorado wild boar. So we were eating it. Everything tastes gamey but good. Well, then I take my leftovers and we get in the car. All the windows are rolled up, and that's when all of a sudden somebody goes, "What the hell smells like stanky ass feet?" It was my Colorado wild boar. So we pull over, throw the wild boar out the window. Somewhere in Indian cried. Because we littered, but
Oh well.
Part of the earth again.
Exactly.
I wish I had
That'll
that.
go back to the earth.
There's like a little clip I need to put on here so like I can just pop it up at random points. The Indian crying from that 70s commercial.
When they get the green screen, so
We'll have that playing in the background the whole time.
every time one of us
crying.
litters in the garage.
what else been going on in your life, Xander?
Not much. This has been a great year. It started a little rough, but I hiked the Grand Canyon.
Nice.
I ran a half marathon a couple weeks ago in Vegas on the Strip at night. That was cool, something I always wanted to do. Got my favorite car, got my favorite motorcycle. I got a perfect job. Things are going really well.
Yeah, you got yourself a coffin on wheels, man.
All right.
That KTM.
Yeah, thanks. It's fun. No, it's fun, and I'm respectful of it. I'm still
Exactly.
scared of it. But things are going well, and maybe you guys could have your input on this. I'm debating either buying a condo, going back for another graduate degree, or have you guys ever heard of Volkswagen and Winnebago collaborated to make a Rialta?
Yeah.
Thinking about buying one of those and just living in it for a while.
Off
Which
the
is
grid.
not suitable for a bigger guy like me, but wow, it would be a cool and freeing feeling.
What is that? Is it like
It's like a 21-foot RV. It's got a little shower and bathroom and bed and stove and stuff in it.
That'd be great.
And it would just be cool to be free. I've kind of become more of a minimalist this year. I read a great book called Do Less. It just shows you how to declutter your life, both socially and materially. And yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But life's going really well.
Good. Hope to come out in March and fuck your life up for a week.
Please do.
Yeah.
You're known for that. Developed a reputation. No, I love when you visit Arizona. We have a great time.
It's fun, man.
And I always hope that you have more time so I can show you the beauty of it, because it is beautiful.
Well, I go with Phil, so we pretty much only go to bars and strip clubs.
Yeah, and they have those
That's the
centers.
beauty of it.
So I like to show people stuff that they can't see in
Right.
Western
I'm
Europe.
sick of those so far.
Sedona.
Not the breweries,
Lake
but
Geneva's nice.
yeah,
There.
that'd be fucking cool. Or I'd really like to go up to northern Arizona and do some hiking, man. We
The
could do that for
canyon's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did you go on that the glass?
No, I haven't been on
Walk
that.
up.
They charge like 67
I
bucks.
know. It's nice though.
I just hiked it was really tough in May on the 15th anniversary of my father's passing. I hiked all the way to the bottom and then hiked along the river at the bottom and then hiked all the way back up, which they don't recommend doing. It's very hard.
I bet.
It's almost a mile elevation change each way. It's like 4,800 feet.
Yeah.
And wow, I almost didn't make it. It was really rough. But
Yeah, hiking
glad I did.
elevation's
Beautiful.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're from a flatland like here.
Yeah.
Like where you could hear the animals making noises in the back.
I'm like, that was
Yeah,
mine.
they do have cows back there now too.
That was a cow, yeah.
Yeah. There's a cow. There's a.
Steaks.
Hey, we're finally facing the other way, man. Over here, these people have 8-foot fence around their whole property, probably about an acre, and they got about 50 fucking geese in there. Yeah, since just my childhood, I don't think they eat any of them. I don't know what they do with them. I don't. You eat goose eggs?
Contaminate,
Let's go try
diseases.
one.
Yeah, geese suck
Pretty
to
much,
eat.
man.
Yeah.
Once in a
I
while,
eat
I'll see a
duck.
stray coyote
Duck's
running
great.
around.
Duck's
You're like,
great, but geese.
That's one thing I love. Like when we were over there, like you go into a restaurant in China, there's no menu. Like whatever they get at the market that day, that you literally have to pick it, which is nice because like when I went there, you know, because America's all corn fed, so you got these big fucking turds. You go over there and like I get these little black turds, so I'm googling stuff. Freaking out. You know, it's either you have intestinal bleeding or you're eating stuff high in iron. So like you go to the bathroom, it's not like here because everything's fresh. And KFC
And
is,
now we're discussing bowel movements.
hey.
and KFC is fabulous because everything's organic. I mean the pieces are smaller,
Right.
but it tastes so much better.
Really?
They don't
Yeah.
believe in hormones.
Not all pumped up on fucking GMOs and
no,
shit, huh?
a turkey. I mean, you know, a turkey's not what you get at the fucking store.
Right. Those are some big ass turkeys.
Like Canada, I
Turkeys
mean,
are big, though.
Same with Canada. That's what I miss, man. Why don't we have good or like grocery stores? Because Canada, you can get like a rabbit, you can get duck, you can get all sorts of good stuff. And
That's why I'm getting into hunting, man. We're kind of going to try to do the
People
minimalist
in the
thing
U.S.
as well.
like their boxed meal they can throw in the microwave, man. That's what it
Fuck
is.
that. I'm going to start hunting. I'm going to try after we get back from our trip next week, or the week after, or whatever the hell. I'm going to try to go like 90 to 95 complete unprocessed food. Meats, vegetables, fruits.
You're gonna be skinning bones.
Beer.
He's
Ah,
got
I'll
his
take a
pants
lot
on
of it.
ready. He's
Yeah.
ready to hunt.
I am. I just layered up a little bit. These are like my biggest pants, and I got a big thigh tattoo that I don't want to scrape off fucking scabs. So, yeah. Cubs tribute tattoo. Got to. Have you seen my other one?
No.
Well, we can't show you now, but I'll show
Show
you
me
later.
after.
We'll go inside. I'll take my pants off. It'll get
It's a little
weird.
chilly out
Make a
here.
day of it.
It's cold, guys. I swear.
I don't know if we'll need a day of it. Anything going under my pants, you can
Put that heater
figure out
back out
5 minutes.
here.
what do they call
5
them,
minutes, never
fluffers?
forget.
Yeah, yeah.
We
There's,
gotta do those.
I'll go do a beer run if you guys want. Or is there some up there? Actually, let me. Does anybody not like sour beers?
We just like beer.
Just like beer?
It could literally be.
I was hoping
gross.
someone would say no. I hate sours because I only got 4 cups.
Then I'll
I've
take
actually-
this. I
There's
mean,
a
Oh,
really
I brought
good
the sour
sour beer.
specifically for you.
aw.
Let me go get another. You guys, you think you? Because last time I left, it did get weird, and then
We're
when
gonna
you
make it
left,
really
it got
awkward.
weird. But now that there's other people,
When you're talking to yourself, you're like,
It seems we kind of all just met today. It'll be easier, hopefully.
Drop a topic, host.
I'm not the host, you're the guest. You guys talk about what you want to talk about. We don't talk about, we just sit here and drink and talk.
I think you guys were not expecting 2 random beer drinkers to be here.
Oh,
I'm sorry, guys.
Can I talk about something that I've been researching a little bit lately?
you go right ahead.
Opioid epidemic.
Welcome to Indiana.
Yeah.
Narcan. Yeah, there's a great meme. It's like Narcan, like ruining Darwin's vision of the world. You know.
I agree with that.
I have a nurse friend who jokes around this time of year that there's a pumpkin spice Narcan that's saving the world.
There's like in Ohio, I guess they passed a law like after 2 times, the 3rd time they don't bring you back.
They don't just start charging? Wow. That's,
Are you gonna get money off of a fucking junkie though?
That's
I
true.
mean, that's
Buy 2 resuscitations, get 1 free.
yeah, exactly. Or you gotta
Get
start.
card punched.
They
Like
have
a
like
Subway card.
they have like resuscitation insurance now, type of thing. You pay your premium, you know.
Shit, they don't even have the Subway cards anymore. Thanks, Jared.
yeah.
Corn King of Idaho.
I hated that subway where he used to go.
That's the
So I lived right above it.
That's
On,
I lived there for a while.
Woodlawn and Atwater, right there. I was in apartment number 6. He lived in apartment number 2, right below us.
Wow.
That's just mostly pharmacy companies pushing their profits. That's usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a great article. It was an interview from Esquire magazine, which you may not agree with, but this Sackler family basically invented the market of pharmaceutical advertising, and they pushed on doctors who were obviously very well trained that they should prescribe very strong addictive painkillers to people with even minor pain.
Yeah.
And this was in the 50s, and this family's very secretive. If you get a chance, this Esquire article was really interesting because the Sackler family made a ton of money, and then they've branched out and they own a lot of the very expensive and rare art in the world. They have a lot of wings in museums. And
So it's like the Rothschilds of the pharmaceutical world.
totally, they say that in the article, so if you get a chance, read it. It's great, but they're very powerful and obviously have no moral values. I would love to see a meeting with this family because they know it's killing hundreds of
They don't
people a
fucking
day,
care.
and they're looking at taking the opioid epidemic globally. That's their next move to developing countries, and they're going to do it too. So,
Oh
world
yeah, that's
beware.
because Pfizer, it's cheaper to make drugs over there, and then they charge us 1,000% more.
It's
so,
the research.
That's
It's
bullshit.
the research.
yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys think anything could really fix it? Is it
No.
going to get better in our lifetimes?
No.
We are kind of a pill popping nation, and that worries me. I work in substance abuse, so I'm concerned morally, but it's not going to go away.
I think it's a thing where you need to let Darwin's law take its toll on things, and people who are smart enough to stay the fuck away from it will stay the fuck away from it. And
No, there's guys like when I traveled, I mean, they would OD in hotel
Oh,
rooms
yeah.
and be dead. Like, guys, share a
thank you,
room,
sir.
wake up, and there's a guy dead in the bathroom.
I understand what you're
Gentlemen,
saying.
so-
Take your time.
It sucks.
You don't get one.
For
You're
my
too busy
from my
talking.
perspective on the topic, I don't get one. But Mike, I know what you're saying about being intelligent, but it's the first real drug epidemic. People go out seeking heroin, people go out seeking meth. There's
I
no
think
medical
everything
value of
but
that.
everything cycles too.
Yeah, but this is a drug that is told, it's instructed by a very experienced medical professional to take, and people get addicted that way. So I don't think it has all to do with intelligence. So there's
No, I'm
people that
I'm
are
not
not
saying
seeking
like
a
just
high.
because somebody's got a high IQ doesn't mean they're not going to get addicted
Yeah.
to. I'm talking people who
They don't
decide
have a choice. That's what the drug was designed for.
decide to inform themselves, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. It's that whole thing of, can you force somebody to not do something? I mean, unless you tie them up, hog tie them, and throw them in a cell somewhere preemptively, you're never. I mean, you're
unless
not going to
Unless
prevent.
Duarte becomes president and
Yeah, they
kills
start-
people.
Yeah, he started throwing people out of helicopters and shit. So you pull what was his name down there in was it Peru? Was it the guy who threw people out of
Escobar.
helicopters? Escobar.
Right
Yeah.
here. I can tell my shirt. Don Pablo.
But I also don't think we should be pushing these things on people. Like
No.
doctors should be like going, okay, just because you have a fucking headache, take 2 fucking Aleve and call me in the morning. Not
Right.
take some OxyContin and But my
When you got a headache, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke a joint.
I attended this opioid conference recently, and I took notes from my boss. And I know, this problem doesn't exist in other countries. You travel, and
Oh, yeah.
there's people that are tougher than us, and I think
They
we
got
used
their opium dens and
yeah,
stuff.
that's
yeah.
true. But we used to be a hard, individualistic country, and we've, I think, turned into a pill popping culture, and it's going to be very difficult to reverse
And then
that.
the worst part is after we went to Afghanistan, the heroin's gone up 1,000%. And
Well, it
like
went up after Vietnam.
and then even Russia's sitting there fighting because they're trying to bring heroin because we're help cultivating it because Kaiser's brother is the head of the opium union. So like, I know guys that are in the military, their job was only to sit there
Guard
and,
poppy
Guard
pills.
pills.
Yeah.
and guard them. I mean, not stop it, but just make sure they put that fertilizer down and make sure they're still making their crop.
It's your tax dollars at work, folks.
Yep.
That's been going on since after the Cold War. Since the Cold War started. I mean, like you said with the
The
Vietnam.
CIA
thing,
gives their money,
yeah,
man, for their
exactly.
secret wars.
It's all black project crap.
Yep.
No, you know what?
I
think
mean, Oliver North testified in front of Congress, and they give him a TV show. Like we were smuggling stuff, cocaine, and
but
Crazy, isn't it?
it goes back to what you were saying.
Such
People
hypocrites.
want a pill to fix everything.
It's
I
a
think just American
hypocrisy, not a
society has
democracy.
become. It's more than just the pills. I think just Americans in general went from an individualistic society to leave me the fuck alone, let me
See
live
right
my
there,
life,
somebody OG.
to
There you
going,
go.
oh, save me from, yeah. You know, save me from everything.
That was some grandma that slipped, right?
It is Wheeler.
She's falling and she can't get up, right? Leave her alone.
I'd be concerned usually like when I was a kid because I knew everyone was fucking blind. But now,
Like 3 houses down.
this side?
Yeah.
Oh, it actually might have been a fucking OD then, man. To be quite honest with you.
I think it is that house. Oh, no, wait, no. It's across the street.
It is? Okay, yeah, I have no clue who lives there. The Myers is like, who
So
knows what's up.
geese to attack somebody.
Hey, real quick, I just poured us
But yeah.
from their second to last sour release via lottery, Upland Sours. It's called Luminary. It's a barrel-aged fruited sour, and it's very nice. So go Upland. Hey, send us some free t-shirts.
Salute.
Hope you guys like it.
Oh wow,
It's good.
I dig.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
I didn't mean to interrupt such a great topic. I mean, it really is. It's something that should be discussed because it's just. What do you do? What do you? I mean, violence. That's the only thing I can see. Take up arms and we're going to do that against our military. That's not going to work.
Nah, you ain't gonna stop it. They gotta have that money.
Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Oh, absolutely. No one here doubts that.
And the government's not going to stop the companies from pushing the bills
Because they're
No.
gonna,
because all the politicians
That's
are like in
obvious.
bed with it. You know, yeah, they're sitting there, they're getting a kickback, you know, for passing a law that says. I mean, I really don't understand why we advertise. I hate watching TV and you see an advertisement for any kind of medication. Ask your doctor.
I know,
about
they
this.
banned cigarette advertising and cigarette sponsors. I mean, Marlboro used to be the biggest Formula One sponsor, and they can't do it no more because
yeah. It'll
the
be
cigarettes are bad, but yet, you know, they're pushing all this other stuff.
and it will. It'll be like a minute commercial. It'll be 15 minutes or 15 seconds about how it'll be the best thing in your life, and then 45 seconds of how it might
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
end your
I
life.
mean, I want to go into my doctor's office and just start asking him about it. Because, well, the commercial told me to ask about this, like, you know, blood pressure medication. I know I don't have any blood pressure problems, but, you know, can you prescribe me
Sorry,
some
they don't
pills?
sponsor me.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're not one of my sponsors. You see my jacket. Pretty soon they will have the pharmaceutical Pfizer here, Eli Lilly.
Yeah. They
on
do,
their fucking
already.
lamp
they
cuts.
do already. No, you watch the Indy 500. There's always like
Oh,
big
it's
Eli
in
Lilly
Indianapolis.
shit,
That's
yeah.
Eli Lilly shit right there.
Pfizer's right
They used to be
there.
my top customer, man.
I dated a girl whose dad was a vice president over there at fucking Eli Lilly.
You know?
You should have clung on to her, man. She sounds rich.
I just,
Oh, she did. I remember the one time I went up to their fucking house there in Indianapolis, and I'm just like,
That was when he was a
Jesus
pizza delivery
Christ.
guy.
I don't even think I had a job at the time. I was in college, and she's like, "How much do you meet my parents?" Okay, me, Mr. Scumbag. You want to go up to this? I made this fancy schmancy fucking house. I'm just like, she was batshit nuts, man. I couldn't deal with her. Couldn't. She was, man. She was fucking crazy as shit.
no.
I got awkwardly silent.
It'll happen from time to time.
Any other thoughts on the opioid epidemic?
Just
Lots
say
of
no.
thoughts, but Jesus, man, I have nothing definitive that would solve it, man.
You mentioned we did crack down on tobacco companies. They're not allowed to advertise, so it's not out of the question that we could crack down against the pharmaceutical companies
Yeah.
because they're lobbyists. Those two industries are some of the
I think what
strongest.
you
But
really have to do is,
but you know, even if we don't advertise, even if they don't advertise, one of the biggest problems is them going into doctor's
Yes.
offices, and you know, and then the problem too is the medical associations and stuff like that train these people, train them to just give them fucking pills, just give them.
Well, then
pills.
it's the underground market. So let's say you have insurance and it costs you $10 for your copay, and you could take that bottle and make a freaking house payment
Right,
with it.
yeah.
I mean, I've thought about it. Say, screw it, man. I'll go to my doctor. I can go get some Xanaxes or whatever. Turn around and make $300. Kind of shitty, but
dude, that business was rampant in fucking the South when I used to go down there, man.
oh yeah,
Jesus
Florida's
Christ.
horrible, dude. People used to fly, man, just to go to Florida because they get scripts all day long
Oh,
and
yeah.
fly
There's
back.
tour buses from Georgia. They go to the pain clinics there across the border.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's like, I don't know, I go to work in South Bend, and as soon as you go in there and you see people lined up before the even stores open to get their methadone and crap.
You know what would be funny is if there was actually a smart company that actually developed a pain pill like that took away pain but didn't have like the narcotic
Well, they're
side
about-
effect.
No,
of it or
I
whatever.
think there is.
Yeah, they're about to make it illegal.
There's
Well,
Kratom?
No, the
that
wife's
what
a
it is?
nurse, and there's
Kramer?
something that they got
Kramer?
out
Is that
now
what
that's
it's called?
gonna do that.
But then I mean, if they could do that, I mean, they would make a fortune on taking people's pain away without like making them fucking addicts to the whole, you know, euphoric sense of. I mean, you know, taking a handful of Vicodin. I mean, because that's the big thing. It's not that it takes. I mean, even really when you take like Vicodin or you take anything like that, or you know, Darvocet or any shit like that, the pain really doesn't go away. You just don't give a fuck anymore.
No, that's like when I got a root canal one time, and they gave me like 60 Lortabs
Wow.
for over a root canal, and it's like I
Yeah.
think I took 3 of them over like a 2-day period, and I had a bottle left. Some guy's like, "Well, I'll give you $10 a piece for them." I said, "Well, fuck it, give me $50, you can have them."
Yeah, so I would have went way lower with your first bid.
No, it was like when I broke my leg, they gave me a whole bunch of fucking shit, and I remember like the first couple days, I was just like, okay, I took some of the pills, and I just sat on the couch with my leg propped up going,
Right.
I'm like, my leg still hurts, I don't fucking care.
Don't care
But-
about life.
Yeah, exactly, but I'm like, this sucks, man, because I was just fucking a vegetable, like, you know, when you take that stuff.
I broke my wrist and they gave me the, you know, the
They
higher
gave you
shit than
weed.
I needed. And I was
And-
like, just thinking like, well, I smoke weed. I don't need this.
Like you said,
I
if
need
I
to take one.
if I didn't have a conscience, I would have got all my scripts refilled for this shit or whatever it is and sold them to people if I didn't have a conscience. But I'm like, nah, I don't need this shit. You know, whatever.
You thought, I have a conscience.
You just find a scumbag to sell it to. That you know, they die. Hey, fuck them.
I didn't know anybody at the time, man. I'm like on a couch. I got my
You didn't know what
leg
his
propped up.
scumbag said. Now he knows a ton of them.
Now I do. Yeah. Now I'd like to fucking. I do it for nefarious purposes.
People we want to kill is an off-limit topic on the just in
I
case,
don't want to.
just in case we get the right opportunity to do it.
So if they're drugged up, sitting in a corner pissing themselves, I don't care as long as they shut the hell up.
What other social issues are you thinking of in that?
I was thinking of that issue because do you guys remember there was a secretary at our high school named Mrs. Gast? Her husband, I think she's distantly related to my mom. Her husband just came over. I know you guys are into hunting. He was target practice with the crossbow and almost took off the end of his thumb, and the doctor gave him pain pills. So that's why I was thinking about
Gotcha.
it. But,
So he just had his finger or thumb up and the broadhead scraped across it.
is that the name for the wire?
Oh,
the
he
string.
turned himself on the string.
Oh.
Yeah, the string
Oh.
snapped back to his left thumb.
Oh, then he got addicted to them.
No, he just started taking this. Just happened recently, but I was telling him to be careful.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. My little cousin, I think he's 12 or 13. He broke his wrist and they gave him a pain medicine script. And I was like, well, what kind? I looked at it. I was like, all right, that's the pretty low level stuff, not addictive stuff. All right, cool. I was just gonna roll him one up.
But there are, you know what, I do see, there are doctors and stuff like that now that are going, yeah, I'm not going to give you, like, I mean, I guess also, too, there are some doctors out there that you're seeing that are going, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be prescribing all this stuff, and they're being a little bit more, you know,
Well, there was that one in Gary that got busted a
Oh,
few
yeah.
years
Oh, well,
back.
Ong back,
Scary.
the
Yeah.
guy that had the big
Yeah.
high-rise condo on
Yeah.
Lakeshore Drive,
Yeah.
selling out the back door.
Really?
I always remember that.
Yeah, he used to, like, just anybody would come in there and he'd start writing scripts for everybody. You know, they'd give him money, and then, especially if they were on Medicaid and stuff,
Yeah.
almost had like buses like coming in.
GI.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I think the main problem with that is they're just going at the base. All the salespeople are going and talking to the doctors, taking them out on dinners and all this shit.
It's going to take multiple people, multiple sets of people to, like, really, you know, doctors are going to need to get smarter. They're going to need to tell some of these drug reps to go fuck themselves, you know, type of thing with their little pill pushing. People are going to be like, yeah, I
You
don't
can't
really
because
need to.
they also get money back
Well,
for how much prescriptions
I understand they
write.
do. Yeah, I understand that, but you know, like I
It's like
said,
a car
it's going to
salesman
be.
almost.
Except Potter. Have you ever seen a pharmaceutical?
I was gonna say,
representative? They're
the
all in their
chicks are
20s.
like,
Yeah,
"Whoa."
oh, yeah.
One major, you make $100,000 entry level. They're all.
They're like, listen, you can't be ugly though.
Yeah, but you also,
Hard to tell that
and you also have to be a prostitute. Too, so.
Which is fucked up. They're basically sending like a model out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well trained model with
Yeah.
drugs. Jesus, we need more of those.
You buy script. I love you long time.
How much do you think national, no bullshit from the states, just like straight national, you can't fucking enforce any laws against it state, which I don't necessarily believe in, but legalizing marijuana? You think a lot of people would turn to that? for pain.
I think you'd see a pop.
They already have. In
I think
Colorado,
yeah,
it's
I
been
think it would
proof
curb
of
it. I think it would curb it tremendously.
But I think like with marijuana, just in general, if you were just to even legalize it, you'll see a pop in like the whole like people who are doing it, and then it'll be like an instant peak, and then it'll taper off. You know,
Well, the problem with Colorado is like even the teenagers and stuff like that. They did the statistics, like they're using less and less pot. But then again, like you go to these places where it's legalized, there's a shitload of fucking homeless people just like hanging out because I've just seen it, man. It's crazy.
well, the homeless thing that's a whole different other ball of wax.
Yeah, but they're going there just to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that's so much a Colorado. I mean, it is a Colorado problem because it's there. But
California,
if it was legal all
Washington.
across the place, I mean, Colorado's still an awesome state to be in. But if it was legal everywhere, there would be so many fucking people moving out to Colorado
Right,
and living on the fucking streets and shit for it. But yeah, you're right. There is going to be an element, but I think overall it'd be good.
Yeah.
It'd be good in my personal life.
Well, and I think too, it's like it's like alcohol. You're going to see just less people in jail. I mean,
Which is one of the problems why they won't legalize it,
you know,
because that's a
Yeah,
moneymaker right
that's
there.
a whole nother, you know,
How many
ball of
fucking
wax.
corporations and fucking products are made in fucking jail for cents on the fucking,
Right.
dollar? Jeez.
Well, yeah, when you got prisons that 3 of them straight on the stock market. I mean, they write laws, to get people in prison, and then freaking
Yeah.
the more people in prison, which our taxpayer money pays for it, and then they're sharing it and stuff on the stock market.
Well, shit, didn't they have like 15 years ago where there was that judge who was taking like teenage boys or some shit like that, and sentencing them to like these like hardcore fucking sentences
Yeah.
at this prison because he was getting kickbacks for
Yeah.
it or whatever it
Yeah.
was, like a kid for like a spray painted the side of a fucking building or whatever it is, which would normally be.
Probably gave them like every 5 inmates, you get a freaking share.
Yeah, and he would give them like 10 years for like aggravated fucking private property vandalism or some other crazy bullshit, and they're like, this kid's all of a sudden going to jail for just fucking spray painting "suck my nuts" on the side of a building, and it's just like, god damn.
I remember that case. How did that go on for so long without anyone noticing?
Because nobody questions things. Everybody's
No
afraid
one
to
questions the
question.
judge, I guess.
Yeah.
And the ones of us that do know, we're smart enough to know if it's not directly affecting us to just leave it the fuck alone.
NIMBY.
Well,
Try to circumvent it however you can.
And there's a lot of people like that. Yeah, no, he's the judge. He knows what he's doing. He know, whatever it is. And it's like, no,
Lemmings.
he's a fucking person, man. And it doesn't mean he can't be corrupt too.
That's why we need to question people. That
Exactly.
comes back to questioning doctors when they recommend that painkiller. Question a judge, examine them, scrutinize them.
So if people question more, maybe it just boils down to people questioning more and not going along with the fucking flow of things all the time. You got too many people who sit there in front of the boob tube and go, oh, the TV tells me to do this, or
Oh,
the news tells me to do
TV. I had a
this.
good conversation
or,
about that yesterday.
And you're like,
Me like 2 years ago, man.
I need this because it says I need this on the TV. I need this, and you're just like,
That's what Black Friday is all about.
yeah, exactly. And you're just like, fuck this, man. Fuck it.
What was said about the TV?
I need
Man,
more beer.
I
because
gave
the
mine
TV's
away. I gave my only TV away in February. So
That's a
my
good
life's been
job.
great.
I'm
What-
trying to get off the TV, man.
Do it.
The
Best
family
thing.
won't do it,
Yeah.
but
That's
I don't
why I
have a
lived in
TV
Arizona.
service.
I'm a firm believer that like if you watch certain TV shows like Honey Boo Boo and Wendy Williams,
Oh well, you're just
that fucking
Your IQ is
TV
just
should
going like-
scramble your fucking brains and you should die in the couch you're sitting.
It is.
watching.
It's a visual lobotomy, is what it is.
Yeah,
You're
it is.
literally you're turning your brains into mush watching most.
It's like the
of
end of
that
Clockwork Orange.
It pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
shit. Yeah.
His wife loves Wendy Williams, don't
It
they?
does, man. I'll come home and fucking the TV will be on upstairs and downstairs, and then the reel comes on, and I'm like, man, it's like I gotta get the fuck out of this house or turn the TV off. And then she bitches when I turn the TV off, and I'm like, well, goddamn, you got 2 fucking TVs with 2 stupid shows on.
Right. I don't have TV service, but I have Netflix, and I still get my content from free
Her-
podcasts, man.
Her excuse is, well, that comes on after the news. I said, well, fucking change the channel.
Yeah, right.
The news is just as
Would you
fucking
lose the
bad
remote?
half the time.
You're supporting this stupid shit.
The news is just as bad
Yeah.
half the time. Oh, we got this person on here telling you how you should do this and how you should do that.
At least like the local news is more like, hey, here's how to bake a fucking pie and another murder in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Though I will say, El Rey has had Kung Fu fucking marathon all week, like going on, which that I have a soft spot for watching kung fu movies.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the TV, it should either be like comedy or it should be like educational, because that's the only time I ever turn that fucking
That's all I
thing
watch on
Yeah.
Netflix is documentaries and stand-up specials.
Yeah, and even documentaries half the time I'm like lifting an eye to going.
Oh, there's lots of
Did
bullshit
you
ones
leave
out there.
something out there?
I
Didn't
like
you
my
leave
South
something
Park
out
and
there?
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
That's,
it's Sunny in Philadelphia's hilarious.
that's about
They're
it.
taking it off
I know, man.
Netflix.
Those motherfuckers should get an Emmy by now. I mean, shit, they've been on
They
the air
don't
for like
have one?
12 years. Never even been nominated.
Who? With South Park?
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I
their
never
writing's
watched
hilarious,
that.
man.
I know.
And their acting's awesome too.
I mean, it's like the first season there was no Danny DeVito, and then like Danny DeVito's like, I have to be part of this fucking
Yeah, he
show.
was
And
fucking-
then after that, I mean,
Was he like producing it before?
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
wasn't. He had nothing to do with it.
He was like, I'm Danny DeVito, so I'm on the show.
Oh yeah, they wrote him in. Frank Reynolds, man.
Come on, you guys need a short round guy here. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
I would put Danny DeVito in any. If I could find a part for him in anything, I love that fucking
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, yeah, he's 70-something fucking years old, man.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
fucking good for his age.
Yeah, you sure as shit don't look it.
Damn. Besides being 4'8", I mean,
Yeah.
I think he looks great for his age.
4'8", overweight, man. Fucking.
Can we transition this into midget porn now? Like, 'cause he's like almost
Yeah, I'm
no?
good with midget porn.
No, we'll wait for the green screen for that.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say I do watch the news for one thing. Channel 32's Traffic Girl, Jenny Mikowski.
Yeah?
www.jennymikowski.com.
She might become a
Check her
sponsor.
out.
She's fantastic.
I'm debating which local newswoman in Arizona to start.
I was gonna say, you all got a house.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. There's this woman that when I was in Mexico, Yanette Garcia.
You're nuts! Don't get me
Oh my
started.
lord, man, she
She's
is
amazing.
just god damn.
See, this is almost
You know.
midget porn to us.
I'm glad I'm not the only
No,
one.
she's
I don't
perfection.
understand what she's saying half the time, but holy crap, I can watch the Mexican weather every day.
Caliente this and Tiempo that. Yeah, whatever.
Muy bien.
You're nuts.
Bueno negla.
Dios mío.
Aren't you kind of fluent in Spanish?
Not fluent, I should be.
That's
I'm
why I said
actually
kind of fluent. Yeah.
speaking better than I only speak to my the lady that cuts my hair, Olga, in Spanish once a month, and I'm better than ever. But I want to get fluent. My partner at work is fluent, and we agreed to start speaking, and I want to become fluent the next year.
Yo no hablo españoles.
He wants to know what Olga's saying when she's like, motherfucking.
yeah,
This white boy still picky about getting his haircut. He's 40 with spiky hair. Tell him to shut up.
She's like, I know she's saying bad shit.
No, we have good conversations. Just good.
Yeah, I'm going to the Dominican next weekend, and like,
That's where you're going.
but I'll be like half fluent by the time I'm gone, and it'll just be all gone after the next month. 'Cause I do try to force myself anytime I'm in a Spanish-speaking country to try to get my. Oh, and it's always like, oh, you know Espanol. I'm like, muy poquito.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Cerveza. Bistec.
Baño.
Yeah, pretty much will be
Baño.
Dos Presidentes, por favor. That's the only beer they got there.
Oh, that's horrible.
El
dude.
Presidente. Yeah, I'll start drinking. I'll be drinking fruit drinks and shit. You know?
Oh, you have to, man. Like
That's
when
it. When I
was-
go down to Mexico, that's what I do. What I end up drinking is just
Oh, yeah.
fruit drinks at a point. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a couple pina coladas. Fuck it, why not?
Yep. Painkillers. Oh yeah. Painkillers. not the drugs, not the pill, the drink, painkiller. It's really good. A little nutmeg on top.
What is it, El Vampiro?
It's a bunch of fucking
It's got some
alcohol
hot
mixed in with
sauce-
a
it's got
bunch
some
of
hot
juice
sauce
with some nutmeg
mixed
on
in
top.
Some shit or whatever.
That sour beer was
Got
really
beer in
good.
your fridge?
You know where it is, sir.
Yep, I'm on it.
Speaking of that,
Just bring out the rest of that case,
you guys are hardcore.
or grab a.
I know, right? you haven't met him. Well, it's funny. Last night he goes to me, "Hey, I'm gonna pick you up at like 9 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go drink over at my buddies." I'm like, "All right."
You didn't mention anything about
No,
recording.
or a podcast. I'm like, maybe I should turn my hat backwards so I don't get in trouble with my company. No.
Whatever you think of the Luminary.
It was very good.
Oh, it was
Sour.
good.
Hell yeah, it was $25. It better be fucking.
I had a pretty good sour.
You know, if I would have known
from
I was
Stone yesterday.
I have Dark
Beer
Lord. I
Machine.
should have brought it.
You have Dark Lord?
It's at my house. Yeah.
You were willing to share?
Yeah, I would have shared
I
it.
got Dark Lord too in my cellar,
Oh, I
but
would have shared it.
No,
Yeah, I'm down to.
I just drank an
only-
08 recently.
I'm only down to like 4 or 5 bottles of Dark Lord. So,
Well, bring one, you. What years?
8, 9, 10, 11.
I think mine's
Oh,
3
okay.
years old.
You got like a vertical?
Yeah, I got
We
a
should do those on the podcast, just saying.
I've been getting rid of them slowly because I'm kind of like, because I used to go every year to it, and then I'm like, I'm tired of the fucking waiting in line. And it used to be really cool to go to that. Like everybody would line up, swap beers, get drunk at
They
like
still
5
do, it's
o'clock,
just
6
a
o'clock
million
in the
other more
morning.
Yeah, really more people.
And it just got to be a pain in the ass, and I was just like,
So my first Dark Lord story was my brother-in-law gave me one for babysitting his kid. He gave me 2
Nice.
bottles. He said, hey, yeah, 2. He said, one, let it age a few years. So that one's still aging. The other one he allowed me to drink. Problem was, I didn't know how bad it was. So I sat down and watched a movie, drank the whole thing like it was a normal beer by myself. I literally go to get up after the movie. I go, I can't walk. I had to crawl back to my bed like a baby.
I got the fuzzy feet.
And it's like at least 15% or something, isn't it?
I think it's like 12 and a half, actually.
Yeah, Death and Taxes, that's what it is. Next one we're going to break out, it's a barrel-aged Belgian stout, Death and Taxes. They had to rename it for some reason, but it's Taxman Brewing in Bargersville down by Indianapolis. They are fantastic. Go hungry. It's just a fantastic place. Guys, send us free t-shirts and free beer. Thank you.
That's cool. Good guy.
Good place.
It's
Good
certainly
place.
good. Get it? Certain. Death and taxes.
Huh? It
There's
is.
a note on there from
Certainly
the tax
good.
man. The bottle's numbered. I'm
Oh,
honored.
yeah. Yeah, 3992, so you're not that honored. All right. Guys, start talking, guys. We're still doing a podcast.
Well, let's put it this way. I know a guy that works for, I think it's Ironwood, I was telling you. I'll have to
Oh, okay.
line that up for maybe get you guys some freebies.
Some Ironwood?
Yeah.
A bar better just give me freebies anyway, damn it.
No, but it'd
She's
be
fucking
fun
awesome.
to have something to drink to do this.
Shout out to Ironwood Brewery. Barb is a badass brewer. She's got a cool little place, and first time I went in there, she was super gracious, gave me a tour without even asking, and she
Give him
was
a
just a
shout out,
sweetheart.
man. Iron Goat in Spokane.
My brother-in-law's brewery, Penrose in Geneva, Illinois.
Nice,
Great.
nice.
You should really check it out.
I hear good things. I see them. I see
It's
lots of
getting
good
big in
things. man.
Chicago.
I see people the collabs they're doing with people, and I'm like, ooh, heavy hitting breweries, man. They're pretty much there, aren't they?
Yeah.
You topping people off over there?
Yeah, I'm getting this new beer out here, folks.
Or just pass it down.
We could do that. Here, pass the class.
Xander, it was really encouraging. It kind of seemed like you were like kind of excited to do this podcast. So,
I
what
was.
what other issues, man? You want to talk about?
Yeah.
I heard
Well-
you guys mention that you talked about population control. I saw stand-up comedian Bill Burr.
Now we were drunk, and that's all I'll say. But we were by a fire. Yeah, Bill Burr, go ahead, please.
Bill Burr's a big guy on population control.
Yeah.
and,
Yes.
we're running out
Great
of
efforts for
resources.
families.
He
great.
was referenced during this conversation
Yeah,
we
Bill
had
Burr.
last night.
We brought him up.
I was
He's
on
a
his
little
very-
short. There's some more.
I was on his very first podcast. Like he did it in
Pass it down. We'll figure it
Oh,
out.
this is yours. I don't know. I'm a little short.
But what are we gonna do?
Vasectomize.
Yeah, Brian, give me that theory.
Yes. Let's hear
Well,
this.
if you can cut the tip off someone's dick when they're born, then you might as well just snip the nuts. And then once they got a good job and they're financially secure and they own their own home, and then they can reverse it, and then you can start having children.
Yeah.
Though, you know, if you do read like about like, you know, population growth and stuff like that, actually what happens in a lot of ways.
Or you can do
when-
like the
when
Japanese and just stop having sex.
Well, when nations become developed, like when a nation generally becomes developed, or like a society becomes like a more developed nation, their population growth drops off considerably.
The Japanese are
But
prime
the
example of it.
U.S., the only reason the U.S. is even still having a positive growth in their population is because of the influence
Religion?
of third world stuff. Like those people, like the religious people aren't even.
No, Catholics are supposed to be fruitful and prosper. Like
Grow the
most
flock.
But you know,
Yeah.
most Catholics don't have more than 1 or 2 kids. There's very few of them that do.
Oh no! Every Catholic I know, they got like half a dozen.
You go to St. Paul's, and you'll see like the handful of people with their like 5 or 6 kids, and the rest of them have one maybe 2 kids. I mean, but what I'm saying is like our biggest population problems are coming from places like China that are still really backwoodsy in a lot of places. India, still backwoodsy. Africa actually has the most rampant population growth, and they have the least ability to
They're all dying
feed
of AIDS.
themselves and stuff like that. That whole thing is going to impact. It's going to decimate Africa here in the next 15 years. I mean, but Yeah, it's for like Europe, U.S., China, Japan, Australia, Korea, Russia, stuff like that, like the more developed nations. Their populations are either steady or declining.
Yeah, Japan's prime right now. Japan's got the only one that's declining because they're educating their people and because they got nowhere else to go. They're on that little island.
But I mean, all the rest of them, they're like I said, steady, but their replacement rate is below. So what'll happen here in the next 10 or 15 years? It's going to start. You're going to see certain countries really start. They're going to see a decrease in population. I mean, it's just going to be a natural progression with that. It's just the less developed nations are the ones that are actually having this rampant explosion, and they're, because we got to have 8 kids so 2 of them survive. But unfortunately, that's really not what's going on. All 8 are surviving because we're giving them aid and stuff like that, medicine and all kinds of stuff. So they're having this huge explosion.
Now, like the story of China, you only allow 1 kid and they kill the other one. That ain't true. Because when I was there, they just taxed the hell out of you. Because there was a guy I was working with, he had 2 kids, and like basically half his $200 a month went to the government because he had an extra kid.
Well, China's biggest.
But they gave him the option to abort it.
But one of their biggest problems is that they had was
It's
for
like-
a long time they
No
encouraged they encouraged people in China to have a bunch of kids, and then there was when Mao took over, and they had that huge population explosion, and after they were encouraging people to have like 7, 8 kids, then all of a sudden like, oh yeah, India's bad about it too, yeah.
I mean, they just go around raping women there.
Yeah, but honestly though,
And then when you even rape the woman that's being raped gets sentenced to jail and stuff like that. It's kind of fucked up.
That's Middle East too, yeah. They got a lot of fucking weird.
but honestly, the worst thing that's happened to Africa is the damn Toto. Come on, hold that joke,
Lighten
kid.
it up. Bringing it back home, I've heard that there's some special interest groups that will offer a few $100s cash to drug addicts, usually women, to sterilize them.
There
or
was a
sell them.
judge down in Georgia.
It
This
was
woman
offering-
was a crackhead,
Yeah.
and she had like 6 children, and the judge ordered to be fixed.
I thought
And there
that was
a-
an option of her sentence, like a condition of her parole.
No, and there was a big uproar over it.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, that actually happened back in the teens, 20s, and 30s in the U.S.
Oh,
there
this
was
was like
there
about
were
10 years
well, I know,
ago.
but this is also like this has been going on for a long time. There was the whole eugenics movement, which was a tad bit more nefarious than what we're talking about now. But yeah, because they were talking about just getting rid of dumb people and
Is eugenics
stuff
that
like
L. Ron
that.
Hubbard book? I'm just kidding.
You mean
That was a
Dianetics?
bad joke. I knew that was a bad
So,
joke.
so I can
Still
get
said
rid
it.
of my thetans and go
You
hang
were
out-
holding it like my Toto
hang out with
joke.
Xenu.
I like Toto.
But yeah, no, there was a big thing. Like I said, with Margaret Sanger and all those people or whatever it was back in the early 20th century were huge in the eugenics thing and wanted to sterilize people just willy-nilly.
Yeah, anyone that was disabled. And
But
stuff like
the
that.
problem with their thing was that they were saying, well, we're going to pick and choose who needs to be sterilized, and it's like I don't really like kind of.
That's why you don't pick and
people-
choose. You just do it to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let them prove
Equal
themselves. Reverse it.
opportunity
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
sterilization.
you have that idea. Yeah, like I said, if it's applied to everybody equally, I guess under the law, then
Slippery slope.
But it is a slippery slope.
Oh, yeah.
You start getting into weird stuff, and then all of a sudden you only have government officials who are having kids, and everybody else is just a fucking worker bee slave.
Well, that's anyway. It's
Well, it is anyways, but it'd be even more so.
Slave to the dollar.
Let's start making this exponential here, being the worker bee.
The only difference is they don't call you boy and whip you anymore. They just make you go work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Then they tax the fuck out
Or
of
put you in prison and make you work for cents on the dollar and then sell it at regular price so they can make some more profit.
But
The pop up on the screen, is that cool?
yeah,
Oh Jesus! There's a pop-up on the screen.
it's probably
Can
like
everyone else see that?
it's no, they can't see it, but it's probably
I
like
thought the same
If they
thing. I was
can.
like, oh, that shit just ended.
Podcast.
oh, actually that's good that it told me because actually the laptop isn't plugged in.
You want?
Oh, batteries
Oh.
dying.
Yeah, it was like batteries dying. I thought it was.
Dying.
I thought it was.
So you guys are talking too much.
Another power
Run
source.
your mouth. Hold your mouth.
This train wreck's gonna go away.
All right, I got a topic here.
Let's hear it.
Net neutrality.
Good current event.
Current
Hot
event.
button.
Yes.
know shit about it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Don't
say,
know shit
okay,
about it.
start
I mean,
talking.
I do. I know the basis of it, but I don't know like
Basically,
what the legislation looks like.
Before, like when TV came out, they would have advertisers that would come on the show that way because TV was free. And then the 80s came around, and then cable came out and started
HBO.
charging people. Now they want to do the same fucking thing with the internet. They want to restrict what you have. And like if you want full access to the internet, so now you're going to have to pay a provider and then pay on top of the provider to have certain access to certain points of the internet.
I think what they need to do is they just need to do it like this, is like, you know how you have utilities, like, you know, natural gas or electricity or whatever it is. You can't tell somebody, you know, NIPSCO can't tell you can't, they've been trying this with stupid shit with their little smart meter crap
Fuck
and stuff like
NIPSCO,
that.
they just jack up their prices.
Well, they jack up their prices.
And they've been remodeling all their fucking stores.
Right, but what I'm saying is they need to treat it like a utility. You can't deny a person access to whatever it is.
No,
If you register as a utility and you're deemed a utility, you can't restrict access based upon whatever it may be. You know, whatever.
There's FCC laws that
Philosophy.
go back to the 1920s. That say
Well,
they
FCC's
can't
a
do that.
problem.
Yeah.
The FCC is a problem. The FCC was there to regulate like what frequencies can be used, like just to like allocate so people aren't tripping over each other. And then it turned into you can't say bad words because it's the FCC.
Well,
Fuck,
they say
shit,
bad words
asshole.
all day in Europe TV.
Well, yeah, because they have their own problems.
And after
over
9
in
o'clock,
Europe,
they can
but-
say shit on fucking Comedy Central.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Like, you gotta wait till midnight to watch Bigger, Longer, Uncut, you know, the
Right.
South Park movie, because it's unedited, and then...
But yeah, I mean, the
After a
FCC,
certain
the
time,
FCC's a problem, and we don't. Like I said, what they need to do is not turn it into an FCC thing where it's like, you know, oh, it needs to be regulated by the FCC, because you know, with net neutrality, then, and this is where we need to be cautious, is that you can't go in there and say, well, but the government needs to regulate. You just need to say that no, it's a utility. You can't deny people access from it. It's a public utility. It's an infrastructure item.
Yeah, which
End of
our
story.
internet sucks compared to the rest of the world,
You know.
too. Because everybody else has, like, fucking high-speed internet, and we're, like, still... I still got freaking dial-up, you know. Well, not dial-up, but broadband.
We also have the problem of an
I got
expansion
Comcast
nation.
pole right down the freaking street, and I can't get my Comcast.
Listen, I'm not allowed to talk about this.
We have a guy from the criminal justice system.
I was just reading.
We
No, I
have
was
a
reading
union
Somebody give me a
buster,
piece
and we
of
have
tape.
someone from a
need to
provider
tape.
that will not be mentioned.
But I think it's personally, I think it's bullshit. I mean, it's just one way for them to make another fucking dollar when
Oh,
they're already
absolutely.
making.
is.
I mean, half of them got the shittiest customer service in the world, and I mean, then you start jacking up. I mean, they just want more and more fucking money. I mean,
Yeah.
what's enough?
We will see who they paid off. We will see.
It's
If
just,
anybody votes for that shit. got the
no, they're
pockets lined.
trying to. I mean,
Got
it's
their pockets
ridiculous.
lined. Yeah.
It's a pretty contentious one right now. That's like a weird
It
one.
all was. The
That's
SOPA and PIPA, they denied that a few years back, and they're still trying to do it again.
You know, yeah, well, and they'll keep trying. They'll keep trying. I mean, they're going to. It's just unfortunately with a bill.
I mean, so now I'm gonna have to pay like $150 just to get on the internet, which is like bullshit, you know, just to have full access. Or I could just sit there and look at Facebook every day and not like.
Well, that's what they want. They want you just to look at Facebook, and then Facebook then plays its own little policing
Fake book.
bullshit. Fake book,
Fake
yeah,
book.
or Twatter or whatever it is, you know.
I just want to sit there, like if I don't know if I want to research something, I want to be able to have that access because you literally have the whole world in your hands. I mean, you got
They don't want you to, though.
like
They don't want you
MIT,
to.
They don't want
MIT
you to
releases
critically
all these
think.
documents and
That's the problem with it is they're seeing now. You know, in the '90s, the internet was taken kind of as like,
I like
a whimsical thing, and then in the first decade of the 21st century, they were like, "Oh, well, this is really kind of catching on," and now they're like, "Oh shit, we have people who can actually go look at something that's not what the pablum we feed them."
because I like reading.
and that's why
science
they want to
journals.
control it.
I read like science journals and like papers that are submitted and
Yeah.
stuff, like new stuff. I like to kind of keep up on that stuff. And now, I mean, if they cut that away, I'm gonna have to go down to the local library again, get in my car, go down there, go get a book, and read that thing. And I don't want to read a whole book. I just want to get to the topic that I'm interested in.
And I look at it from like a business standpoint is like I look at things like Comcast, no offense, or anything like that, or whatever it is that they're regulated like utility because of this. It is technically a monopoly in an area.
Monopolies aren't bad,
Well,
but
No,
Sorry.
they're always bad unless the person on top is altruistic and is not looking to cut a dime. But the thing is that find me a human who is naturally altruistic and not trying to cut a dime. Bullshit. and I'll sell you a bridge from China. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the thing is that since they are technically monopolies, you know, they may be regional because, you know, yeah, over here is Cox, over here is Time Warner, over here is Comcast. But me as an individual at my house, I can't go, well, I want a different internet provider. I mean, I could go to AT&T and get like 56K modem or whatever it is, but you know, there's such a limited spectrum due to infrastructure. It needs to be like a utility. No, you can't regulate where people go. No, you can't regulate what people see. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. You either provide the service in total, or close up shop and go away.
I agree. I mean, I even have internet listed as a utility in my little budget.
Because
I mean,
it technically is.
I mean, it pretty much is.
That's the way it needs to be treated. So you can't go, well, you know, oh, you want to go look at Facebook? Well, we're going to charge you $5 a month for that. You
I know.
Either,
I'd be like, okay, I'll delete my account. Perfect.
I would too. I would too. Yeah.
Well,
I'd be like, fuck
I already pay like $45 to get on the internet, and then I pay
Right.
another $8 for my Netflix. So now I'm gonna have to pay the $45. I'm gonna have to pay the $8 for the Netflix, and now I'm gonna have to pay another fee just to even
This
see
feels
what I'm
cheap.
paying for.
Right.
How'd you get grandfathered into $8, man? I thought I was grandfathered into that shit. Then they
It's
charged
'cause
me
you get
$9.99.
4 house.
Okay, maybe it's $9.99.
Oh, I was gonna say.
All I know is it comes
It
out.
used to be $8 though. Yeah.
It's all.
Oh,
it
it
used to be
be
$7.
No, it used to be $7.99 a month.
Yeah, and you used to be
Yeah.
able to get like DVDs and stuff, and then they
Exact-
divided
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Did they completely
Because
like
what sucks
you
is
can't
what
do
sucks is with Netflix.
gave that to
you know,
Blockbuster?
Yeah.
They just sit there and the movies suck because they're all cheesy ass fucking movies anyway. But it's the sitcoms.
I like cheesy
Well,
movies.
The
'cause
docs
they
and the
suck.
original series and the sitcoms. Yeah.
I mean, I like my Peaky Blinders. I like my Mindhunter.
Have
I
you
like
seen
that
Big
shit.
Mouth?
No. I haven't
Watch
seen-
Big Mouth, dude. It's hilarious. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I like watching Jeepers Creepers for the 50th time.
Yeah, it's always like the
Jeepers
dumbest
Creepers
fucking
3?
movies.
Well, there's bad, worse, and then there's just like, you're trying so hard to be bad, you should just not even try.
This beer's a lot stronger than that first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just on a side note.
You guys are a bunch of lightweights.
Yeah, it's
He's making an observation. It's stronger and thicker.
I'm
right?
just
No,
saying,
it is. It's-
this was like motor oil versus
It
the first
is.
one.
It's got some residue on
it
the side
is
of my glass.
13.8%.
Oh, there we
Nice.
go.
Oh, dude,
Dude,
that's
why,
like Thomas Creek
why is it
Brewery.
every fucking bomber we
They're
open
out
on this
of
thing is over
South
10%?
Carolina.
It's a theme.
Like the
Gets
one day
the
I brought
conversations
over a
going.
couple bombers, and I'm like, I just pull them out of the fridge. I'm like, this looks good, this looks good. I come over here, 13, 12. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, and he pulls out bombers. It's like,
You want to know why, honestly? Because I can't
13,
afford to buy new beer.
Well,
And I have a cellar full of beer, and it's
I
ageable
know, well,
because
that-
it's got alcohol.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you're gonna drink a beer, drink a beer. You
yeah,
have
well, no,
options.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's like, which is
Yeah,
funny.
you
Every
pussy.
bomber, every
it's
bomber
free,
we've
thank
opened has been over 10%.
You know what? Okay, here's another thing that bites my ass. Whatever. It's like
Grinds my gears.
grinds my gears.
Roughs my nipples.
That's my gear.
Okay, when you drink a Budweiser, depending on the state, it could be 3.1 to 4.3.
Yeah.
So then when you go to Canada, that son of a bitch is 7.2. And then I went to the brewery in St. Louis, and I sat there, and he goes, "Anyone have any questions?" You know, I did the whole tour there and everything like that. Got my
U.S.
two.
alcohol laws.
No, that's what they were arguing. I said
It
that's
is.
bullshit. You know why? Because like you got all these microbreweries
Well-
cranking up these 9-10%ers.
It's previous alcohol laws,
No,
okay?
no, it's because they want you to consume more.
But the deal with it was
Yeah.
you were not able to brew
It
a
is a
beer
business.
before 1985 in the U.S. Now, I'm not saying they should have retooled their stuff to do better now. You know what I'm saying?
You
I mean,
still can't get a 7.2 Budweiser.
no,
in the
you
US.
can't. You can't.
I think
But what
Brian's
the thing
right.
was that
You go to Canada, you get a 7.2 Budweiser.
Brian's right. What
Right, yeah.
Budweiser drinker wouldn't want it to be 7.2%?
I would
Like,
drink a
fuck, I only drink a half
Budweiser
a
if
case.
it
It'll
was
be great.
7.2.
I wouldn't drink a Budweiser if it was 7.2.
Because it's going to
It
taste
still
like
tastes like
ass.
shit. I can go get a 7.2 that tastes better.
Well,
But
then
no,
they had the Platinums and the Bud Black, you know. and-
Right.
But what I'm saying is like all that brewing stuff is the same shit they've been using for the last 100 years. I mean, they're not going to put money into something that is just making them money as long as it works.
Yeah, but it just pisses me. And then what fucked me up is I raised my hand. I said, "Why is it that you guys can brew a better beer in Canada and you can't brew? You're an American German company, and you're sitting there brewing beer for
Actually,
us."
Budweiser's Czech.
Is it?
And then they said, "Sir, we're going to escort you out of the building."
And Bev.
Yeah.
But then well, that's the local law. I said, well, that's bullshit.
It's not local law anymore. It was 30 years ago, and then there was a a law.
There's still
in
some
19
states
in
that are
1985.
fucking weird
Yeah,
off.
No,
there are.
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Utah.
In Utah, you have to mix drinks behind a screen. You know.
Utah,
so-
it's not 7-2, it's 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same with Oklahoma.
But it used to be like
Near beer.
you could not make beer over 4.5 or 4.7% in the U.S. up until 1985.
I didn't know that
I
one.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a deal they struck with Prohibition. When they repealed Prohibition, they were like, well, but we don't want high alcohol beer because before then there were a piss ton of breweries in the U.S. right before Prohibition,
Oh, yeah.
and they were making stouts and porters and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, and it was a grand old time. People were brewing their shit.
I think it was
drinking
just
their
2
beer.
years that we finally surpassed what we used to have as far as
Exact-
breweries
right.
in the United States.
Right.
Just a couple years ago.
And and so it was a deal they made. They said, well, you can't brew a beer over 4.5 or 4.7% in the U.S. And then in 1985, they passed the microbrew law, which they should have just repealed the whatever it was anyways and let people just run willy-nilly. But they said, okay, now you can brew over 4.5 or 4.7%. But you got companies like, Budweiser and Miller and all kinds of stuff like that. They're like, well, who gives a shit? People buy our stuff by the fucking truck ton. We're not gonna up our stuff. or anything like that.
One line of Bud Light. They have 1,200 bottles every minute that they pump out of there.
God.
The only thing you know what I
A
respect,
minute.
you know
That's
what I,
one line.
but you know what I respect about like Anheuser-Busch and stuff like that is that type of beer is one of the most finicky types of beers to brew, and the fact that they can brew millions of gallons a year that taste the exact same as the last one, because those beers you get one little ounce of impurity in it and it tastes like shit.
Dude, their system is completely turnkey, though. I mean, you
I
can't
know,
fuck
but,
it up.
But
you
even
can go
so,
in there and brew that shit.
right? But even so, the fact that they can brew millions of gallons a year of a finicky ass beer that, like I said, you put a speck of dust in it, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, but if you taste an off flavor
yeah.
in a Budweiser, you probably don't give a fuck.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying I respect the fact that they can brew millions of gallons a year without.
I respect that. I respect that craft beer is really fucking cutting into their business. That's why
I
they
do
have
too,
to buy
but
all
I
of them.
enjoy that.
why they have to just keep
all the
buying them.
Coors bought like Blue Moon and all that other
No,
stuff.
and InBev just they bought, or maybe not
312s.
InBev. One of them bought Wicked Weed down in
New
Asheville.
Holland's now part of Anheuser-Busch.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to stop drinking their shit, I guess. I love those shit.
New
too.
Holland
I won't.
sold out.
I'll still drink the Dragon's Milk variants, but
Oh, Dragon's Milk sucks.
Oh, not New Holland, New
Sucks.
Belgium, New Belgium,
I
not
don't
New
like
Holland,
it.
New Belgium.
have you ever had the s'mores version?
No.
Oh yeah,
Tastes like s'mores.
it's good as fuck, dude.
It wasn't New Holland, it was New Belgium.
New Belgium.
New Belgium,
New
yeah.
Belgium sucked from the get go. Their IPAs are fucking hot garbage.
But
dude.
they're now they're Anheuser-Busch.
I will
or
drink a Fat
whatever.
Tire though. Not bad.
Fat Tire is just a basic beer. There's
If it's on
nothing-
special for $2.99 at the bar, I'm gonna order that Fat Tire.
but still, the fact that they're part of this like international conglomerate just
Yeah.
takes away from it.
Well, I think it's just awesome that they had to fucking buy these things, you know? At
Oh,
least
it
they're
is.
making some individual brewers like fucking rich, like, oh shit, like as much as I fucking don't drink beers brewed by InBev, subsidiaries, I would
I-
still sell out in a fucking
I did
heartbeat
see
if I had a
some-
good thing
what-
going
what-
on.
What was
I
it?
know, like beer's like the one thing that I'll buy local,
Yeah.
But I did see the one thing. What was it? Some shitty Budweiser 1932 Reserve or whatever it was. I'm like,
That sounds
to
terrible.
celebrate the repeal of Prohibition. Like, it's gonna taste like shit no matter what. It's Budweiser. It fucking sucks.
Has anybody ever heard
Don't you
this
tell
conspiracy
Taylor.
theory, or am I just making up right now? Maybe Prohibition, maybe like Budweiser and Coors, they were all in on that shit. Prohibition, we're gonna kill off all these local shit.
They-
and
No,
we're gonna
'cause
conglomerate it into one.
No.
Prohibition, like when I went down to the
I'm just saying, I'm throwing out maybe.
No, when I
possible
went down to the
conspiracy theory.
Budweiser fact, when they had the Prohibition, they
Wow.
retooled their beer and they made like a non-alcoholic beer like that.
But they,
Duels.
Duels, yeah.
but the
Yeah.
thing with
It had like a
Prohibition was,
rat or something on it because like it was.
Rat on
No,
it.
no, like
marketing.
literally when you go down there, they got like these rats like on the corner of all these buildings and stuff because that's when they converted and they made it into a rat.
that. You know what Prohibition was? Prohibition was a product of the Bible banger movement.
Purity.
No,
And it was
and
it was also a product of the women's rights movement.
And also
was.
the government was
I don't know
fucking
anything
pushing
about
like
that.
some
Yeah.
bullshit beer that was killing people.
If you read the women's rights movements, like the women's solidarity and suffrage movement in the teens, always talked about alcohol is a problem, alcohol's this, alcohol's that, and then so then you had the Christian Puritans also on the same thing who said who went. this is terrible. Alcohol is part of the devil. Even
But
though if you
then-
read in their own
but
fucking book,
so-
Jesus turned water into wine.
Yes.
But, you know,
right.
let's just ignore that little fact right there. And so
Not fact,
both those
but-
Yeah.
both those factions got together. So women got the right to vote.
Atheism.
And then all of a sudden, the Bible bangers got with them, and they both said, well, we need to get rid of alcohol. And they both pushed for it, and it was popular at the time, and they somehow got a constitutional amendment.
Somehow.
That's crazy to think.
That is crazy.
Great book, Prohibition: 13 Years That Changed America. We'll tell all about that.
Well, you
it's
know what,
Valpo
though?
Public Library.
I'm gonna learn.
How.
I'm gonna have to learn how to read a book.
Great book.
Well, but if you
So your
read,
books on tape.
Is there a movie?
Yes, you can.
but if you
More
look
than
at-
Got
ever.
a book.
If you look at it, the most amendments were passed post Civil War and right to about the Great Depression. There was like all these amendments that were fucking passed on. It was like this willy-nilly thing. They would places would be like, "Oh, we want a new amendment on the Constitution," and it was like most of them were passed like in that fucking time frame because it was like the fashionable thing to do.
You attacking the Constitution, bro?
Real quick.
They were.
Don't you
Do you think
start.
we'll see an amendment in our lifetime? And if so, what would it be?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you think we'll see another amendment in our lifetime? And if so, or if you had to vote
Let's
for one, what would
let's
it
go
be?
around the room and say what
Yeah.
what it might be.
What it
Oh,
would,
God.
or what you think it should be.
What I think
Term
it should
limits?
be.
No,
Term
term limits will
limits.
never be. Never.
Well,
You will
if it
never.
could be a thing and we could make an amendment, what would it be?
Term
Mine,
limits for
mine would be
Yeah, term limits would be one of my.
mine would be weed.
Yeah.
It
If
would
it
just say
would be-
weed. That's it.
If
You know,
it
with
would
an
be me,
exclamation
that's
point.
28.
It
We
would
can do that
be-
shit.
What is it the 17th Amendment where it was senators? Because senators used to be appointed by the state, and the state legislations, they would appoint senators, and then that was the amendment that made them elected, like by popular vote. And I think that's the one I would say, let's get rid of.
I don't know. Me and Mike were talking about this last night. I mean, with it's the 21st century now, so I mean, I don't think we need a Congress, and we don't need a freaking Senate anymore. We just need like, if there's an issue, they need to like put it out there and let the public vote on it.
Bold statement.
That's mob
Hey,
rule.
Well, we see how
That's
screwed up the
mob rule.
voting
Mob
process
rule
is.
never works out. Never works
The
out
Russians
well.
would get involved.
I know. I'd like to give it a shot.
I would.
Let's give it a whirl.
It did. It happened in Greece.
I mean, okay, like we
It ended poorly.
we've been doing the same system.
Yeah.
for
Well,
200
guess what?
It
Australia
is-
has less gun violence than America. Let's just compare Australia and America then.
No, I'm not
Yeah, it's a
saying
different
that. But
fucking
mob
place,
rule,
man.
mob rule has
Haven't
never
you ever seen
worked.
Wolf Creek?
The Australians are, they're kind of dumb. They're a prison colony for
We're
Christ's
talking
sake.
about they're kind of dumb. They're fucking awesome.
Crocodile Dundee.
How the fuck are they still alive if they're dumb? All those things they can kill them out there.
And also the wilderness adventurer who gets killed by a stingray in a fucking boat.
Don't say a bad thing about the crocodile. Don't you fucking
I
Don't
know.
you talk
I'm
about
just-
Steve
I'm being a
Irwin.
smart ass. I'm
South,
being a
South
smart
Park
ass.
did an episode of that where fucking Satan
I
had a
know what
fucking
actually
birthday
happened.
party
I'm
and
just
Hitler
like-
and everything was
Yes.
there, and they had Steve Irwin there at their fucking Christmas or birthday party for Satan, and he had a fucking stingray put through his heart, and you're like, well, maybe this is too early. Let's just put this
I
thing-
actually enjoy Steve Irwin because I'm like, I like the nature stuff. So
He's awesome.
yeah,
I
it
love
was
it.
great.
No, because like,
Look at her. She's such a beaut.
Exactly.
Do you remember when they made that big stick about him dancing his baby in front of the crocodile?
No, Jesus.
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
see that, but whatever.
no, I mean people like naturalists and people like that that actually go out and they're one with nature and stuff like
I
that is
respect the fuck
important.
out of that.
That is very important. Like people need to just like turn that fucking goddamn TV.
You guys need to all Google Adam Greentree, Australian badass hunter dude. He just did a Instagram story. I don't know if you guys have Instagram accounts, but
No.
there's these stories where they just tape, and he was just doing like a 20,
Facebook's enough.
he did like a 21 day like
I
back
Twitter
back
account,
wilderness
shit
hunt,
posts.
man, and just went through and fucking he was drinking fucking out of streams and shit, and
Nice.
it was just amazing. You could see him like going crazy a
Yeah,
little bit, but he was just
did he
documenting
have
it all,
diarrhea the whole
and
time?
finally got his elk and.
How did diarrhea get involved in this?
Because he was
No,
drinking out of
no. I
streams.
think he got a little bit of. I think he had one case of beaver fever. Had to do a little diarrhea. And then
By the way,
he's a bad
By,
motherfucker.
by the way, the worst meat I've ever eaten was beaver. And I'm not talking about
Actual beaver.
I'm talking about actual beaver. I'm not talking about
I was about to say.
the womankind beaver. That's some of
You
the,
got diarrhea.
So
with
chill.
that?
that's some of the
So
finest.
female
That's some of the
beavers
finest
taste fine.
meat.
Male beavers are terrible.
But the animal beaver is some of the worst. Just don't
Hey,
bother.
the
Don't bother.
beaver,
Even if you're
He wants to
sorry.
go on the record that he doesn't like beaver.
It doesn't. Mike Rogers does not like the beef. But I've seen him eat a hot dog.
This is a bee-free garage.
That's my wife. I disagree with you, but
Hey,
what?
just
Oh,
kidding.
that's
I
still,
know it's like one of those things where
that's still once a month. If you know.
Guys, seriously,
That is
seriously.
true. That is true.
Let's clean it up. Mike Rogers does like the pussy.
Yes, okay. But the animal is the worst, nastiest. It's like this gray, shitty, gamey, like not even gamey in a good way, right? Because like there's like
I
there's
don't
like.
know. Get a good Mexican, I guarantee you, who can cook that motherfucker
I was
up.
about to say, you should have it prepared right.
Okay, he might be able to, but this tasted like some piss-ass boiled goose, or with just this massive gamey.
I only could cook up some
How
beaver.
poor was the person that cooked it for you? Because if they were poor as fuck, I bet you they'll make it taste
They
good.
were a good cook. It was just terrible. It was just fucking. It's not. I would rather go shoot 10 squirrels than eat a fucking beaver.
Damn right.
So now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go buy a fucking trap. I'm going to figure out how to trap beavers.
I got
And we're going to
traps.
eat beaver on this motherfucker.
I got
You
your
can't. I'm gonna tell you to go fuck. You can go eat it. I'll watch you eat. I'll tell you to go fuck yourself because I'm like I eat that shit anymore.
That's the last time he's ever eaten beaver.
Sorry, Jennifer.
I got,
Sorry.
You know.
Let's bring it back in a little bit. This probably sounds terrible.
Like I said, it's like a caveat here. I'm like, oh god, no, let's not, because that fucking term. But yeah,
Let's the
small wild animal beaver. Yeah, don't eat it.
small, ain't that?
They ain't that
fucking
small.
Wow. Compared to
The
like a
actual
fucking deer or some bullshit like that. Or
You
turkey.
guys.
Wow. How many people just tuned out?
No, they're probably all
All
like,
two of
they're all like,
Yeah, right.
he's gonna make an ass of himself even more now, you know.
All right. I'm
I'd
sure.
like. Now you're in Arizona. I'd
Yeah.
like to get some jackrabbits.
We see them all the time.
I
They
know,
must
I
be
love-
good. They eat grass and they
I
got
love
some meat on them.
jackrabbit, man. I've never, first time I was in Arizona was the first time I saw a jackrabbit. And that son of a bitch stood up, and he
Big.
was probably 2.5 foot fucking tall. And I
His
was
back
like,
legs? Was that fucking
yeah,
big?
Their
stand
ears are
up.
big too, but yeah, I'd eat one.
I hear
I
they
love
take a
rabbit.
little bit of preparation. I hear they take a little bit of care. They're a little
I've
tougher than the
never eaten
normal
a
rabbit.
jackrabbit. I've had
That's
on
what brining's for.
Yeah, exactly. Soak that shit in a fucking little salt, little fucking whatever's gonna put
Throw a
in
little
there.
wine in there to have a little flavor.
Overnight in the fridge.
Good, yeah.
Bam. That's what I do with squirrels. Brine them
Yeah.
overnight. Bam. Good as fuck. Tree chicken.
Even rabbit.
Tree chicken.
We have the 22 rifle right in view,
Tree chicken.
and there are tons of squirrels out there if you guys want
Oh,
to shoot a
dude,
squirrel.
there was a couple big ones. Right
Coming
over
soon.
there.
Tree chicken t-shirts.
Damn it, I need to bring mine over so I can sight the fucker in, man. That's what I need to do. Next podcast is going to be a shooting
High
podcast.
class white trash, trademark.
Maybe we'll go out to Jasper and we'll go fucking like.
I want to buy a tree
Alright.
chicken t-shirt. If
All
he
right, I
makes-
think we're getting crazy. We're getting crazy right now. No one wants to listen to this shit, but it's more fun.
I think everybody's more interested.
Xander, what's another topic, man? You're fucking keyed in.
Yeah.
You're keyed into the fucking
I
social.
dropped out of the media. I gave my TV away. I'm not keyed in.
Thank
What's
God,
the
that's good.
social issue you guys want to talk
Oh, hold on,
about?
tell me
Wait a
about the
minute.
marathon. Tell me about the marathon.
Yeah.
I ran 9 times to practice in 6 weeks, and then I drove up to Las Vegas and ran it.
Half marathon. Were you training in any altitude or anything like
Did you,
that?
get
No.
your did you get your 13.1 sticker?
Yeah, I don't. I think I gave it away or threw it away.
Yeah, right.
I got a cool medal with like a spinning dice where you could spin it. It's cool.
Fucking right.
It's pretty
Sounds awesome. Vegas appropriate.
Yeah.
How tough was that, man? What was tougher, the Grand Canyon hike or the 13.1?
Oh, Canyon easily.
Canyon.
Oh,
Elevation.
my muscles
And it was-
almost
it was-
broke down.
It was
Oh.
probably a better experience than Grand
Oh,
Canyon hike.
way better.
They were both great experiences, and I'm glad I
But
did.
nature is like
But the whole
scenery wise,
nature
the
thing,
Grand
yeah.
Canyon was
Nature,
obviously
yeah.
Seeing, billions of years of erosion is wicked. Oh man, and just making it down and making it back up.
Oh yeah,
It's a
13
wonder
mile
of the
walk.
world.
Yeah.
I don't mean it as like not
I'll tell
accomplishment
you what.
or whatever it is, but I'm just saying like the whole being able to
Scenery of
run
the
through
canyon.
the scenery.
I don't know, like
Imagine.
when I went to the Grand Canyon, like you see all the pictures and everything, it does no justice
justice,
whatsoever. When you
Big
like
picture.
walk
Some
up
things
to
get
the edge
saved.
and there's a 13-mile gap, I mean that's just incredible.
You can see the layers and the river that dug those.
Did you see
layers.
any like cougars and stuff or
Just
birds?
deer and birds?
I'm gonna go fly over it one of these days.
You saw some. He saw some cougars. They
I
were
saw some
40-year-old women.
cougars.
They were hot.
But I was more focused on the
it's
hike.
up here. Yeah.
We should go get in the airplane and go take a trip out west.
Do it.
Go
Do it.
fly over,
I'm
yeah.
in.
Stay with me.
Can I bring back drugs in your plane?
I don't have customs, so I don't know. Fine.
All right.
No
This guy's
T-
got a plane?
I mean, we're flying into
I
Valpo
will
Regional,
here
man. I think
soon.
we're
I will
cool.
here soon. I'm looking at buying an airplane. I keep
Can we
looking
stop in
around.
Colorado? Can I buy a shitload of marijuana?
I guess there's no TSA on my aircraft, so
Perfect. You might want to pat me down just in case.
Just for fun.
He's
Yeah.
hoping for a pat down.
he's like,
He's like, dig deeper.
Mics with mics and dicks. Yeah. Yeah.
terrible, terrible.
In the air.
I'm gonna have to get a Cessna Caravan then for what you're wanting to bring. in.
No, I'm not trying to make the next Blow movie. Fuck that. Yeah.
Why
I just
not?
want to bring back some personal use
We
for
can
the
haul
year.
back over 2,000 pounds.
Fuck, man. So, goddamn, with Grand Canyon, was there any, like, when you hiked the river, was there any, like, really tight points or anything like that?
No, it's wide open.
It's wide open?
Yeah. And I hiked when I got to the bottom for an hour and a half along the river and then decided to just go right back off. It
How
was-
many miles would you
I
say?
think it's you do two different trails because the one going down does not have any water sources, but the one going up does, which makes sense. But I think it was 9 down and 8 up, with about almost a mile elevation change each way. So it's wicked.
It's like, yeah, there's no way I could ever do that, right? Gotcha.
I would practice before trying.
Yeah, I would,
because
yeah.
there's signs.
I
that
hiked
say,
up like a
"Do not
mile
try
in
this."
Colorado. I mean, it was straight up climbing on like way too big of rocks. It was just weird, but dude, that was tiring, dude. And all I was
Last time-
carrying was a fishing pole. I just heard there was some nice trout up there.
Last time I had a mile elevation
was.
change, it was the assistance of fucking leaded gas, man. That's the only thing I know.
Now, you know, elevation don't fuck with me all that much, but you can definitely feel it. You can definitely feel it. But hiking up like that, that's just changing like that. I can't imagine. I mean,
I might do it again in a couple weeks.
you absolutely should, man.
I
You should,
didn't
you should
have-
buy whatever the fuck they're calling that one thing and live in your 21-foot camper, dude.
Yeah, just go around the national parks. That's the life.
I'd buy
That
the
would be the
condo.
shit.
Just make sure you put the bumper sticker on your kid.
That's me. That's me. That's
Xander, I would
not-
definitely
not-
do a week with you.
Not
That'd be
for
cool.
investment. Is you have a base of operations, like a static base of
No,
operations.
we hit up the petrified forest. We saw the meteor there. and
Meteor crater.
We did the steam train through the Grand Canyon. I had a good time out there.
Arizona's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
Arizona, New
Especially at
Mexico,
night.
Cali, and Utah are wicked.
Yeah. Let's not.
A few
I had a really good time.
North, Colorado.
A few years
I had a
back,
good time riding the motorcycle up through the mountains.
a few
man. That
years
was
back,
fucking
we all
great.
rented some sand rails and stuff, filled up with some gas cans, got us some tents, and we went out and rented them, and we went out into the desert in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, you can actually see like the galaxy.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
the fucking
Yeah.
It's
beam of light, like
incredible.
fucking like yeah.
Getting away
Actually
from the
saw
light
that
pollution and
in the
stuff,
Morgan
yeah.
Monroe Forest in Indiana. Like when I was hunting, like I got into the
It's
fucking
beautiful.
my
I mean,
spot a
I
lot.
mean, like
yeah, it
it's
was
like 2 in the
holy
morning and it's
shit.
almost daylight because you can actually. I mean, you can
Oh.
see the cloud of the Milky Way.
It was crazy. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
some
it's
crazy shit.
just-
I can only imagine how badass it is out there. I mean,
Well, I had
this
a
is-
good time
This was just
until-
Indiana away from like
Until
like
it was
an hour
like 20
outside light
degrees
pollution.
and everybody's shivering and shit, you know.
Oh, God. Wow.
Because I mean, you think like 100 degrees during the day, but then at night, holy
And then the
cow!
mescaline kicked in, and it was all different then.
Peyote.
Kenny Moore.
Bad
Bye.
Oh shit!
Wish we had some more.
I have a bunch of family out in Arizona,
mind.
fucking too, man.
What else? Is this wrapping up? Is that what's happening right now?
I
or-
don't know.
Just might be.
I'm
What,
just
what's
talking.
going on here? Let's see the time.